First thing I want to talk to you about was David Burnett, Judge Burnett being taken off the case, and new Judge David Laser being put on it. I mean, does that give you a little bit of hope for the hearing?
What I've been hearing, that David Laser's a fair and respected judge, so
yeah,
that raises my hopes.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of people in the past talk about David Burnett that asking a judge to rule on his own ruling is a little bit it's just never going to come to anything. So.
Well, the way the law is set up, anytime you remand the case back to circuit court, it always goes back to the original judge. Anytime you appeal it, unless it's to the Supreme Court or circuit court, district court, or anything, it's always to the original judge.
Sure.
Of course, you always expect the judge to be fair and impartial.
Sure.
But people are people anywhere, no matter what class, religion, race, position, and people always carry their own set of ideals and beliefs and prejudices or not,
Sure.
So that's his life, but you try to, make it through and deal as fairly as you can with everybody you come across.
Yeah.
So.
So what do you do to pass the time in here?
Shoot, I study, I read, I work out some, a little bit, and listen to music.
Yeah.
I like reading law books. It's about the law. I just got through reading a book about this United States Supreme Court justices.
Oh yeah.
So that was interesting. To see what their lives were like. Everything, what their history and upbringing and stuff was. So that was pretty cool. But I like to read fiction.
Yeah.
Like fantasy books where they have like heroes and things like that. Who uphold these ideals and beliefs and everything.
Yeah.
So I like reading stuff like that.
So, are you hearing anything about when the hearing is going to be?
Well, what I heard is we have until mid-February to get all the paperwork filed, and June, July, or October.
Yeah.
Maybe when the hearings may be.
Yeah.
Word is, of course, this is all in the paper. That we're going to do a solid setting with the hearings instead of a couple of days here, a couple of days there.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Last time, stretched out over a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Do you feel hopeful about the hearing?
I'm always hopeful.
Yeah.
Always positive. You never want to think that there's no hope.
Yeah.
You never want to think that the system is set up to where innocent people have, no recourse, no way to get out.
Yeah.
Of course, the law provides for a way, for innocent people to be free. However, people are fallible, and people, they don't find it as easy to let people go who are innocent as it is to, send people, keep people who they think might be guilty.
Yeah. Jeez. Have you always felt that way, or something you come to over the years? God, I would have been so pissed if I'd been in your situation, I think. It would just eat me up,
Well, I think, really, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's several steps in grief, there's denial, anger, rage, then you get what the latter part is called acceptance. I don't think I've got acceptance. I've got understanding and a realistic point of view that, these things take time, procedures, even though it doesn't have to take time. There is, avenues for an innocent person to be released immediately, right now. But it takes tremendous strength and character for a person who is in the position to free innocent people to do it, especially in today's society, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
Jeez.
Are you confident in your present representation?
Oh yes, they are excellent, great people, excellent, strong attorneys, have the vision of, how the law works and what is necessary to get the case won.
Sure.
And even if it, requires going all the way to Supreme Court.
Yeah.
So I'm confident in John Blake. Heard about here recently in Texas, that did 30 years for a crime he didn't do. I'm like, man, 30 years. it's already been nearly 18. That seems like 100% of my life, even though it's only 60%.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, hey, that'd be like unbelievable.
Yeah.
I always want it to be today.
Sheesh. I read something that your mother spoke to the press recently.
Oh, really?
I mean, how's she handled all this over the years? How did your folks handle it?
I've always said, you know, it's hardest on the mothers
Yeah.
than it is, you know, on me or on Damien or on Jesse.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm going to be okay. I do my best every day to make it through this, but
Yeah.
she's out there. She doesn't know what this is like. All she knows is her baby isn't home where he's supposed to be. you
Yeah.
know? And it's hard on her.
Yeah.
Grief has just torn her up over the years. But she has faith and hope, and she's surprisingly strong, and she's able to make it, you know.
Sure.
Especially if she hears from me regularly.
Sure.
You know.
You know, were you ever bitter, or are you bitter against Damien or Jesse for all of this?
No, it's not their fault.
Yeah.
They're innocent, and they're victims in this. Even Jesse, you know, with the so-called, you know, confession. It's a false confession. You know, anybody who's been a kid and been on the school playground has seen the bullying somebody into crying uncle.
Yeah.
The kid who cries uncle knows the bully's not his uncle. The bully knows he's not his uncle. It's that same thing they did to Jesse. You know, the police, the detectives knew he wasn't guilty, knew Damien wasn't guilty, knew I wasn't guilty, yet they made Jesse cry uncle anyway.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm not upset at him. It wasn't his responsibility to protect me, to protect the innocent, to do what was right. It was the police department's responsibility.
Yeah. Sheesh.
It was their duty to protect.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you want to do if you ever get out of here?
Well,
Say when you get out of here. I don't want to
Right.
say that. Yeah.
you know, I come here when I was 16. I'm 33, going on 34. The farthest north I've ever been is Craighead County Courthouse. Farthest south I've ever been is here. Farthest east I've ever been is Pine Bluff Unit. Farthest west I've ever been is Pine Bluff Unit. I want to get out and travel, you know, go around and see the world, but I also want to finish my education. You know, there's a saying that says, "To whom much is given, much is, you know, expected."
Yeah.
So when I get out, I want to give back and help. You know, our society is constantly changing, constantly getting better, but it requires work of its citizens, and we
Yeah.
all have a duty, you know, to do what we can to make not only our lives better, but the lives of our fellow man. So
Yeah.
I'll get out and try to do what I can to help,
Sure.
and enjoy it as well. You know, enjoy life.
Yeah.
Which I try to do that now, even now.
Yeah.
Enjoy my life and enjoy, you know, even though I'm not in the ideal place or where I choose to be, I'm here, so make the most of it.
Yeah.
Things happen, bad things happen all over the world,
Yeah.
and you can't let bitterness or regret or anger, you know, make it worse.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to get up and keep on pushing forward and treat everyone with dignity and respect, regardless of the circumstances.
Yeah.
Give forgiveness, you know, where it's due. Whether the person may deserve it or not, you're giving it to. Don't do it just for them, but do it for yourself as well. That way you can move on with your life.
Yeah. A lot of people focus on Damien and all this because he's the one with the most to lose, technically. You know, supposedly going death row, but.
Yeah, he's got it the worst.
Yeah. He's.
He doesn't get to, you know, get out of his cell much to interact with people.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a job, you know, to where, you know, occupies his time where he's
Yeah.
doing something. So he's just cooped up all the time.
Yeah, they shouted. I mean, he was.
And anywhere he does go, when he gets to come out, you know, he's behind the glass or,
Yeah.
you know, shackled and chained up.
Yeah.
And it's been like that, you know, all day, every day. No cease. It just never ceases.
Yeah.
So that's strength right there for him to be able to bear all that, you know,
Sure.
not have any bitterness or anger,
Yeah.
and build, you know.
Yeah.
I tell the guys back there, I'm like, shoot, when they tell me to pack my stuff, I'm gonna tell them, y'all can have it. I'm out of here.
That's funny. Well, yeah.